Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It's custom 5v5 business this afternoon. Haven't done a lot of 5v5s in my time. I'm not purposefully omitting them. I just don't get sent them as much. And when I'm scouring through the replay vaults, I don't see them there either. I think people are just not playing them as much because they like even numbers. But anyway, we're going to readdress the balance on that front this afternoon with some 5v5 business. It's going to be mostly pros, but with a couple of Joes left in there, like shotgun shot left in a pheasant that's been cooked and then you crack your teeth open on it halfway through a meal. I could be rude about Joes. It's fine. I am one. It's not racialist. Don't need to worry about it. It's absolutely fine. Some poor chap then stands up at the back saying, "Guile, you don't even play." Yes, well, that's just an uncomfortable truth. We won't talk about that. Who invited you? Sit down, sir. So yes, that action this afternoon is going down on Lush. That's a word I haven't heard much since the 90s. You used to hear that all the time. Lush. And the best news is there's only a little bit of news, so we should probably talk about it. We've got a message coming in from Jip. As you can see, it's a post from the forums. They are looking for help to edit textures for PBR shaders. I'm sure that means something to somebody, alas, not to me. This is a request for help. We're looking for contributors that can find their way around software like Photoshop or GIMP. Who's produced software and called it GIMP, and why was I not informed? They sound like they should be my friend. There is no need for you to be an artist or have experience. No need to be an artist in creating textures. There, I got there in the end. I should probably just read the thing instead of making up the words. But it may be useful, yeah. So basically, if you've got the right skills, apply. Black Ips and Bloody have been working throughout September and early October to port shaders into Supreme Commander that better represent lighting. Using these new shaders, units will feel more a part of the environment, and in general, they'll look a lot crisper. Yada, 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 you get the idea. So you've got the right skills, you've got the time on your hands, you want to get involved, do give them a shufti. This post is under home and contribution on the forums, so just give them a heads up over there. And I'm sure they will very much appreciate any help with that situation. Right, on to today's game. As we said, custom 5v5. It's going down on Lush. I'm ready. You guys are ready. And the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Ching, ka-ching. Alrighty, we'll call this Team 1 up here at the top left. This Team 2 down here at the bottom right. Going first for Team 1, rearguard air position in Ferrari red, but going blue. He's all over the place, and he went cyber into boot. It's blue. There he is. He's opened first land. Team member number 2 for Team 1 at the top of the screen. It's Mimatri. There he is. Going cyber as well in lime green, opening first land. Team member number 3 down here. It's Desert Wolf 216 going UEF in electric blue, opening first land. Team member number 4 again to the southwest. It's Karobin going Cybrin in burgundy red, opening first land. And last but not least for Team 1, right at the bottom of the screen over here, it's Valmaspa. And he is going UEF in baby blue, opening first land. So there we have it. Let's check out Team 2 now. Rearguard air position to begin with. In Spetsnaz green, another Cybrin opening first land. It's a no. Team member number 2 down here for Team 2. It's Bruce Banner, but he's flying casual today, or dressing casual, I should say. He's under the radar, going by the name Bruce today in this season's fabulous Vivacious Violet, so not dressing that casual. Opening first land, second air, going Seraphim. Team member number 3 in fact, for Team 2, already having left his base in Elephantine Grey, going Aeon, going first land. It's Fisheye, making his way towards the reclaim in the center. I'm surprised you can see anything with a fisheye, but he seems to know where he's going. That big old pit with tons of stones, just lying in wait for Scoopy Scooperson to get on over there. Next up, we've got Turbo 4, another Seraphim in Dijon yellow, this time going land all day, it would seem. Tons of land factories queued up for him. And last but not least, for Team 2, we have Kavat, another Aeon, this time in lurid green, going first and second land, and third air by the looks of things, going Aeon, if I didn't say that already. So the racial spread for Team 2, it's going to be 2 Aeon, 2 Seraphim, and a Cybrin. Game quality at 93%, 15-20 apiece on the averages, more or less, there between two teams, so pretty close. Not too bad for a custom job. What have we got here, though? Some super early lab play out from Kavat, who's lying in wait there with a flare, just waiting to get in on the action against Matry. Top-rated players here to look out for are Blue, 1800 at the top, and then we've also got Matry over here, who's another 1800. Top-rated players for Team 2, another 1800 at the bottom right rearguard air position, it's Unknown, and then over here, mirrored against Matry on the front line at the sort of top edge of the screen, top edge of the formation. It is Kavat. The lab play managed to scoop at least one engineer kill out of the mix over here. Something else by the looks of things as well. I'm not sure exactly what that was. Maybe, I mean, is it possible that could have been a wreck there before? I'm not seeing many other wrecks on this map, so I think that was a unit that's been downed. But that is the way of things. First blood then, by the looks of things, to Kavat, but not anything that's going to change the outcome potentially of the game, I shouldn't think. Early reclaim lead by the looks of things going towards Team 2, 5.6k, and climbing versus 3.1k. Probably something to do with Fisheye, who's managed to land his comm right in the middle of that sea of reclaim here. But we have got Korobin turning up to spoil the fun. Is it Fisheye who's scooping most of them? Yeah, he's at 2k mass, 2.1k. So getting there early. He is getting his team quids in, so to speak. T1 Bomber inbound now for Kavat, who seems determined to harass his opposite number and arguably the biggest immediate threat to Team 2's early game chances. Nice bomb there, takes care of 2 engineers, but we have a Sky Slammer that's been spat out of the land factory and is going to shoot that puppy down. He's not going to get a second bomb off, alas, but still 2 engineers. Maybe he'll be happy with that. What have we got in terms of expansion? It looks like early engineer expansion into the top right hand corner going Matry's way. He's already got 2 of the corner mass points and is going for a third. We do have a couple of Auroras down here for Kavat, but he's not currently pushing at the moment. Engineers, sorry, not engineers, ACUs exchanging some fire down here in the mass field between Korobin and Fisheye, but of course they're utterly committed to scooping as much reclaim as possible in the intervening period, so I don't think either comp's going to get themselves in too much trouble for the moment, or for the time being. We've got a gun upgrade on the way for Matry, 28% done there. How's his eco situation? He's about to run out of power. That's going to hamper that upgrade somewhat. Needs to get that under control. Another T1 bomber, meanwhile, circling over top for Kavat. 1 kill for him, but he's been pretty badly beaten in that exchange. He's down to 29 hit points, so he either wants to take that somewhere else less dangerous, or perhaps take it back to base for a repair job. Rarely see that on a T1 bomber. It's hardly worth it. Korobin now getting double teamed by Turbo 4, who's recently brought his comm all the way up through this position here and into the front line. Korobin in a bit of trouble here. Cyber and comm, of course, not known for their hardiness, really running low on HP. 3,000 hit points remaining. Fisheye and Turbo 4 absolutely dedicated to getting a comm kill here, it would seem, just past the 5-minute mark. Korobin sub 1000 HP, tries to get in around the edge of this cliff edge. He's not going to manage it, though. I'm sure that is going to be all for him. An early ejection for him, and Team 1 find themselves down a man just inside 6 minutes there. How very, very unpalatable for them, but I'm sure they will adjust. Yeah, his full share on. It certainly looks to be that way. The beneficiary of his base is the rearguard air position player Blue, who for the time being at least is holding on to that forward position and all of its extra income. We'll see what he does with it as the game progresses. Fisheye bringing his comm back a little bit. He was pretty badly damaged in that exchange. He's got about 4,000 hit points left. Turbo 4 on about 6,900, so they probably would do a lot worse than to get their comm out of danger. Although Turbo 4 not hanging about, he's going to stick around on the front line and get an upgrade on the comm there. 12% done on that gun upgrade. Can Desert Wolf force a cancel? Well, if he can, it's not going to be with his comm. He's also routed to the spot, but he's going for a T2 upgrade instead. Maybe he wants to lock down the area after losing his teammate with some point defense. It's probably not a terrible decision. Was that a cancel or was that a complete? That was a cancel. So Kavat was working on a gun upgrade. I'm not sure for how long. I didn't get a chance to see what the clock timer was on, but those resources were lost when Matry advanced with his comm and this horde of Mantis, forcing Kavat to cancel the upgrade and to move back For the newest of my subscribers, if you don't play the game, you are routed to the spot on an upgrade. So if you see an inbound comm or a large army that you think is going to get you killed, you better get out of dodge and cancel that upgrade. Move on out. Kavat taking a lot of damage here. Has got the gun upgrade on board, or at least one of them. That was a second gun, of course, going for sniper comm. But 7,000 hit points left on that tank. Matry now finds himself, though, without support, surrounded by a bunch of tinfoil Auroras, determined to put in as much damage as possible. Matry down to 6,000 hit points himself. Kavat continuing to advance with his commander as well. It's the range upgrade on board that comm, so he can stay to relative safety away from Matry. Although, no, sorry, Matry's also got the range upgrade on his gun, so there was no way he was going to be able to fire back with relative impunity, but he's backing off nonetheless. What's going on now in the bottom left-hand corner? Meanwhile, Bruce and Valmaspa getting into it. Bruce marching in on this forward position as a land factory, a T1 point defense. Valmaspa seemingly determined to hold on to this position. He has a decent number of units surrounding his comm here, but so does Bruce for the time being, looking relatively even Stevens, apart from the fact that Bruce does have an upgraded comm, an operational gun upgrade, which is going to give him a mild advantage here. Forward land factory for the time being almost on full health and currently spitting out engineers, not currently reinforcing this unit position. Moving back into the center now, Fisheye, what's he getting to work on over here? Looks like he was trying to get an eruptor up and running, but that was abandoned as he moved his comm to engage some of these Mantis forces from blue. Checking back in with the bottom left, Valmaspa now under bomber attack as well as he strolls past his land factory, which explodes in a ball of flame. Where were those bombers inbound from? I think they belong to Turbo 4. He's also got some bombers up front harassing a couple of the ground forces belonging to Desert Wolf. Matry up here is having a second pop at getting that gun upgrade, that second gun upgrade on that Aeon comm in the top right hand corner. Can Matry force a cancel once again? Perhaps not. He's got a little bit less support around that Cybran commander. There's air incursions causing problems for him, and of course, by the looks of things, Kavat has ground forces surrounding his commander as well. Checking back in on the bottom left, Valmaspa trying to get a gun upgrade. He's only 35% done, rooted to the spot. In comes Bruce with that high rate of fire Seraphim commander. Valmaspa's trying to counter by pouring units into the space to try and distract Bruce, but he's only at 54% on that upgrade. In come a couple of Zooey shells. Valmaspa HP plummeting, still stuck, rooted to the spot on that upgrade, about to go into the red. By the looks of things, Bruce is going to tough it out and get another kill here. Valmaspa does cancel. Is it too little too late? Yup, down he goes. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Suddenly, Team 1 down 2 players. Who is going to inherit all of the blue base and infrastructure? I wonder, is it also going to go over to blue? Our survey says yes it is. That's the way it works. It goes to the chap with the highest score. Will blue hold on to that, or will he ask for somebody else to take control? We'll have to watch out and see what the answer is on that front. Matry playing a dangerous game. Meanwhile, at the top of the screen over here against Turbo, very badly damaged. He has got an upgrade. Gets a rank in vet though, so that's what he was after. But he's going 2 versus 1 right now against a double upgraded Aeon comm and a single upgraded Seraphim comm. No Cybran commander is going to hold up long against those odds, and down he goes. And now it is a 2v5 in favor of Team 2. Things not going well for Team 1 in the slightest here, and we're only 11 minutes in. Turbo on around 5,800 HP, Kavat on around 6,600. Now would be a good time if blue has any fighter bombers or anything to come in and try and grab a snipe on one of these commanders. Trouble is, we've got air superiority fighters lurking for unknown. Are we even at a point with ASF tech for blue? In fact, there's nothing going on at blue's base at all. Very little, at least. We have got one factory which has just started up work on... That's interceptors, though, he's producing currently. There goes a spy plane. I think it is. This is where an ASF comes off the landing pad, and I'm thoroughly embarrassed about my iconography knowledge, or lack thereof. How's Bruce getting on down here? Going for T2. He's going to shred those genes. 10% done there, and with no impending threat coming from the north for the time being from blue, I think he's probably going to be able to complete that. Desert Wolf trying to lock down the space with some defenses. Throws down a triad. Was going to work on a little bank of T1 point defense as well, but was rudely interrupted by Turbo, who shows absolutely no caution whatsoever, strutting into the kill zone with his comm with only a few thousand hit points to his name. We've got about 4,000 left, had about 6,000 when he rolled in, I suppose. But Desert Wolf taking a bit of a battering now as well. In comes an Assailant to shield Turbo just a little bit. And Desert Wolf forced to back up away to his newly constructed Cybrin defenses, which are going up over here. He was the inheritor, the beneficiary of Matri's old base. Matri, of course, was one of the 1800s on Team 1, so we have an 1800 and a 1400 left for Team 1, a Pro and a Joe. How well will they fare against a full complement, a full team for Team 2? Let's have a look at generated eco. Well, that's not looking too great, as you would expect. Team 2, some 70, 75 mass, or 70, 80 mass, something like that, ahead in terms of generated eco. In terms of reclaim, they're up 47k to 28k. In terms of total mass, 202k versus 184. Plus, they're covering a lot more bases with a lot fewer people. We're going to need some big plays coming out from blue if they're going to wrestle this one back. It looks like he's focusing pretty heavy on air production. Well, if they can get air control, maybe they can do something with it. What's Unknown doing down here? He's getting a T3 upgrade on his comm. Look at these massive air production facilities which are planned. So he's not going to get it just by nature of being good looking. And of course, being blue, he is good looking. Even with that horrible Cybrin chassis under there, I know he's an absolute Chad. Blue is undoubtedly the best colour. Just the way it goes. Bruce over here completed his T2 engineering suite, threw down a P-Gen right on the front line. It really goes to show you just how much they don't care right now what's happening with Team 1. We can throw important infrastructure down on the front line because there's no threat right here down at the bottom of the screen. No threat whatsoever. 15 minutes down. Fisheye is feeling bold. He's advancing with his commander. Got the T2 engineering suite, and I always forget what that little radar upgrade is. If I could click on the right person, that would help. What is the no, that's the wrong one. There it is. It's the enhanced sensor system. Gives him a big old
Commander under attack.
Range. Let him know what's coming his way. Does he also have Omni on there? Omni suite. Yes, he does. Omni sensor, although it's a very short range. If a Monkeylord shows up in there, it really doesn't matter. But I suppose certain situations... Speaking of Monkeylord, look at that. Blue completes one. Now this is something that Team 1 desperately need. A large weapon to hit back, at least to stand a chance of scoring a counter kill. They must be desperate right now. Of course, you don't want to just kill comms. You want to kill infrastructure in a full share game. Absolutely critical. We've seen it time and time again. But potentially, Fisheye could be in danger here. Might want to think about airlifting his commander out. A Monkeylord much, much faster on the ground than a commander. And if he's locked on to that signature, if he's aware of what that is, that could be problems for Team 2. The first real problems that they've had in this game so far. Desert Wolf up front, holding under shield coverage. A bit of a base war developing over here. A base war that looks like it's probably going to go better for Kavat. The weak Cybrin shields not holding up well against the Aeon shields and of course the more developed defensive infrastructure. Fisheye turning right with his comm. He's going to stop there and throw down some T2 point defense, which is going to take pot shots at this inbound column of T1 spam. There are a couple of loyalists in here as well, though. But this Monkeylord could make it all the way deep into enemy territory. Really cause problems for the main bases over here. This is arguably more important than taking out players right now. Smash down some of these bases. Try and readdress the balance. Over in the bottom left, Bruce Banner's getting antsy. Rolling forward with his comm, which has gun, has the T2 engineering suite, and also has the nano repair system on board. So there's a chunky looking corner in the bottom left. That Monkeylord is now at 3 stars. It's taking a battering from Corsairs, and Unknow actually manages to finish that Monkeylord off just in time. Its assisting forces, though, will reach the main base of Turbo 4. But there is an operational shield in the center of it. We've got point defense in play, and this is turning into a veritable storm of Corsair cover over the top of these Medusas. Suicide mortars, as I like to think of them. I like to think of all T1 artillery in that way. And that will be the end of that little attack as it peters out. Meanwhile, back at the top of the screen, Desert Wolf facing off against Kavat, who is just relentless right now, pursuing yet another potential comm kill. Desert Wolf trying to riposte with a mixture of T1 and T2. Kavat just on the edge of his own defensive range, but look out, in comes that wave of Corsairs, and could we see yet another ejection for Team 1? It's looking highly likely. In come the ASFs. That can they keep the comm alive? He's on a couple of thousand hit points. Nope. Boom! And then there was one. It's now a 1 versus 5. Blue has an awful lot of work to do. Yes, he did manage to effectively wipe out the base of Fisheye with that Monkeylord. So he got good work done there. But he has lost all of his teammates. He has got a decent army over here. There's a lot of loyalists up front. We've even got some bricks as the mainstay complement in the center of this column. We've also got a little band of loyalists down here, some Bernies, a couple of pillars that could cause problems for Bruce. They're not going to want to go up against the comm, but if they can get a run-by going on and into the main base, they might be able to slow him up somewhat. And this time, the next army is complete with associated mobile flak. The Corsairs getting cut to ribbons. Fisheye taking pot shots. There's not really a lot else he can do right now except use his comm offensively. He's not got room to set up base just yet, once again in his old position, so might as well use his comm offensively as best he can. Loyalists make it inside shield coverage. Those birdies distributing universal basic income like it's cool, even though it isn't. Mass extractors going pop one after another. Bruce finds all of his core mass taken out. That's a lovely little run by. And the main army, the main strike force for Blue, continues to push deeper. It basically moved straight in through the gap that was produced by the last attack as it rammed its way through Fisheye's base, leaving a little bit of a power vacuum in this area of the field. He could have pushed deeper in towards Unknow's base, but I think maybe he's thinking he can get more success going up against Bruce. Bruce has brought his comm back from the far corner over here. I'm wondering if we're going to get a response on that front from Blue, who's going to try and take this while Bruce's comm is caught up back at base. That would certainly be a good opportunity. But the bricks coming in from the east. Another wave of Corsairs. We've still got some bangers in the mix here, though, so it's fireworks overhead of this army. They do get a second pass, or at least some of them do. Soul Ripper? Who's got a Soul Ripper? Soul Ripper under construction for Unknown, though. That could be a bit of a game changer. But we have a lot of air superiority fighters in play for blue. So flying experimentals are good, but they're especially good when you have air dominance at least. Air control even better. And there is the second attack into the bottom left-hand corner that I was expecting. Blue capitalizing on the lack of firepower as Bruce was forced back to base. Oh my goodness, just get one unit to take the shield down. Obviously his attention is elsewhere. He's got a lot of things on his mind. He's got a lot of bases to cover, and he has got another Monkeylord that's marching in towards Kavat's base now. Blue is putting in a damn good showing right here, all by himself. Yes, he has got all of the eco of his teammates, and this is, of course, something we've mentioned many times, aspect of full share. Put all of the resources in the hands of one player, especially the best player. They're going to utilize it to pick holes in the enemy's defense. And crucially, of course, all of the players are still in it, but he's going after infrastructure right now. Kavat with his comm down here. It looks like he's about to lose his main base. Monkeylord stomping its way around without a care in the world, just ionizing everything. Crispy Aeons. Crispy Aeons are best Aeons, let's face it. And Bruce right now looking less like Bruce Banner, more like Bruce Campbell, laughing hysterically as he saws off his own hand. Oh, it's so much more funny when I don't make myself laugh, but I can't help it. I find myself so amusing. Titans continuing to roll through this base. Bruce with not much of a base left, I think it's fair to say. So Blue has trampled Fisheye. He's now crushed Bruce's base. He's crushed Kavat's base, all by his lonesome. Things looking really bad now for Team 2. How's the eco situation? Team 1 still... No, Team 1 ahead by about... Wow, occasionally by about 100 mass. But I think when the reclaim's put aside, I think Team 1's... It's either neck and neck or Team 1's ahead. You can see it dipping down to 317 there. Are we having major critical power problems? Well, yeah, Unknown is power locked like crazy. That Soul Ripper production very, very thirsty, unsurprisingly. What's going on here? Kavat's on a transport. Where's he going? Onto the front line. Whoa, risky. Look at that. Lumna gets shot down. Kavat nearly got himself killed there. Fisheye finds himself a little bit surrounded over here. There's a lot of T3 units in the area. He is literally behind enemy lines right now. And Blue has cottoned on to the fact, sends in one Titan. In comes some pillars behind it. Is this going to be our first ejection from Team 2? Look at this map control right now from Blue. He has surrounded what's left of Team 2's base. He's got in around the back of Turbo's base. There goes Fisheye. Bosh. Kaflooey. And that is amazingly, that's the first ejection from Team 2. Turbo down here with advanced RAS. We need to find time for that. The Soul Ripper's complete. Bruce, now Campbell, is in a bit of trouble. Down here, I think he's going to be able to hold this though. Nano repair upgrade on board, but the Soul Ripper is live. Where is that going? But look out! Unknown has gone for the tele-snipe, although he's not gone for the snipe on the comm. Maybe he did. Blue has left the building, but this is some very delicious counterplay, I'm sure, for Team 2 right now. Lovely teleport, crushing everything with that commander. Air production for Blue in absolute tatters. Can he get out in time? Yes, he does, but he's not gone home. He's going systematically through the bases and just taking down important HQ buildings, power plants. Down goes the UEF factories in the middle, formerly belonging to, who was it, Desert Wolf. In comes the Soul Ripper. Blue, astoundingly, Didn't go after the Soul Ripper right away. He wants to establish air dominance and then pick it up. But I'd be trying to save buildings right now, my friend. And there is the attack command. But then he comes back after the fighters again. And the Soul Ripper is going to make it in towards the final power plants. If he'd stuck on it, I don't think he would have managed it. Unknown gets another teleport off. He goes after the top base, formerly of Matry. This time there are defenses in play. Can he take them down before he goes pop? Our survey says, down he goes. Unknown finally bows out. Turbo, I assume, is going to inherit what's left of his base. The Soul Ripper was shot down, but not before taking out just about everything left in the main base of Blue. And that has really opened up this game now. Bruce and Kavat engaging another force coming in from the west now. They're trying to make their way into the soft, jangly bits of Team 2's territory. Another force coming in from the north, right in amongst the structures of Turbo's base. But Turbo's got a lot of defenses in here. He's got some crucial shielding up in the center. Some of his other factories and infrastructure is quite nicely dispersed. Wow, we actually managed to get an Ithota out, which is chasing down a spider bot that's probably going in after Turbo's comm. Is it going to make it in time? It's going to be a pretty close run thing. It's deep into the red, but it strolls into the range of this extra Cerberus turret fire over here. Turbo 4 safe. Kavat still pursuing this army. Oh, a megalith inbound as well. Where on earth did all of these experimentals come from? This game went from 0 to 60 in half a second. That's now in range of Turbo's base. There's a lot of hit points for Team 2 to chew through here. Turbo 4 unhappy about the lack of scouting. Look at the pocket Team 2 are operating from. But they are, for now at the moment, out generating in terms of eco. A lot of central structures, important P-gens in what was Unknown's old base have been taken out in these recent attacks. Megalith discovers Kavat's comm. Was that a bit of a mistake from Kavat, or doesn't he care anymore? He had the personal shield. It protected him for a while. Can he chew through with the help of this chicken in time? No, he can't. Oh, the Megalith went down almost at exactly the same time, but Kavat is taken out. It's now a 2v1. Bruce and Turbo versus Blue. Turbo is in charge of everything. Oh, loses another ion reactor that's sitting just outside shield coverage. Another couple of pesky T3 bots at the back here. 2 Percys and a brick. Just causing problems. That Ithota is still alive. I can't believe how many experimentals suddenly showed up. But Blue has got to get to work on reclaiming, rebuilding mass points. You can see engineers going around scooping as much as they can, or at least these ones are doing donuts. I'm not exactly sure. They had a reclaim command, but they fulfilled everything in the locale. And now, just like those lazy Amazon warehouse workers, they're on the toilet break. How dare they get Bezos on the case and the whip out. No time for that business in the middle of the war. 30 minutes down in this game. And suddenly, for about the first time, we reach almost a bit of a lull. I say almost. We've got one Titan in behind enemy lines down here belonging to Blue. Tickling away at a T2 mass point. That finally goes down, but that will get dealt with in a couple of bombing runs by this Revenant here. Large number of ASFs. In terms of air control, or air dominance, there's no question it currently sits with Blue, but he's out of any real air production capabilities, so that's not going to last forever. He's working on a stealth upgrade on his commander. And will this lull allow Team 2 the time they need to get re-established? They are out producing Blue in mass, I think, although it's all over the shop. It's hard to tell. Is Turbo power locked again? Oh, he's currently feeding mass right now. In fact, they are wasting mass right now. They physically can't spend it quickly enough, Team 2. They need to sort that situation out. They might be low on build capacity, but Revenant's brought in now. With their stealth mode activated. Are they going after Blue's comm? Blue's comm, oh, eats one bomb down to 7,200 HP. He's nearly done on that stealth upgrade. No more strats inbound, I don't think, but large numbers of T1 and T2 spam coming in or posturing to come in from the south. A little bit of a saucy run by at the eastern edge of the screen over here. Just seems, despite the fact they haven't got map control, despite the fact they're trying to plug all of these leaky gaps in their defenses, it sort of seems like Team 2 have managed to hold on to their more important infrastructure. Power gen, 9.4k for Blue. Turbo's putting out 10, and we've got 13k for Bruce as well. Where is he pulling all that in from? I'm not even seeing any... no, that was 30. Was that just 13 flat? Oh, 3.1k. It was from momentary reclaim from somewhere, although I'm not even seeing much in the way of build capacity on the map for him to be reclaiming with. Bruce using the comm effectively. He's actually been quite the presence down here, keeping Blue at bay. Another Revenant, a strap bomber out and about. Blue has completed stealth. He's currently getting a helping hand from engineers to repair up. But there's an inbound Ithota. Do we have anything that can stop that? He is working on a megalith, but completion is a long way off. Yes, he's got a lot of build capacity, but if the Ithota can get in here and start killing some of that off, might not get built, you know. And if that gets killed off, we've got another Monkeylord down here keeping this army at bay. I don't see what's to stop the Ithota from just making a beeline for the commander. Yes, it's got stealth, but he knows the rough area it was in. That Ithota has 51,000 hit points. Engineers over here spamming up Cerberus turrets, trying to keep the area safe for that megalith. All construction paused for the time being. If they can take it down with point defense, there might still be hope for Blue. Blue shielding up over here. Might want to work on some point defense around your commander as well. It might just come to that. That Ithota with 99 kills to its name, almost ready for another rank in veterancy, which doesn't help Blue's situation. 53k is 52.4k out of 53k for the next rank in vet. Surely he's going to grab that on the way, and there'll be another chunk of HP. There it is, 63,000 hit points. He's moving straight up to Blue's commander, and there really isn't anything he could do about it. He's going to roll right up and stand on top of him. 800 hit points remain. And then a ball of plasma to the face to close it out. 35 minutes almost on the nose. Wow, what a game. Great work by Blue. What an incredible game. Team 1 absolutely annihilated in the first half of this game. Maybe a bit more. All but one of the players taken out systematically, one by one. Blue inheriting all their stuff, having to hit back and doing a stellar job, quite frankly. If it wasn't for the play from Unknown, tele-sniping in multiple locations, to be fair, but this was absolutely crucial. The assassination of the air production and all of the power production facilities, it kind of left Blue muted without the ability to effectively hit back and quickly. After that, the Soul Ripper came in as well, and he had, I think he had 1, 2, 3 P-gens down here left, and maybe 1, 2, 3 air factories as well. There was a moment there where he dispatched his aircraft to engage the Soul Ripper. As a response, Unknown came back in with his smaller force at that time after the initial fight had gone down with air superiority fighters. It had been a win for Blue. He had bigger numbers to begin with, but he was distracted by that second defensive measure. If he'd stayed on the Soul Ripper, I think he would have shot it down and he might have saved these crucial facilities. And you know what? That might have been a different game if he'd been able to bring in gunships, a wave of whalers or something, while he was attacking on the ground while Team 2 were bottled up. He might have been able to stop the production of that Ethota, and we might have had a different outcome. Nearly a sensational comeback, but actually arguably in some ways better. It was a comeback from a comeback. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you've seen everything, there is the Patreon, guys. It's a mere $1 a month. Please check it out. It's the best way to support me. Had a brand new cast go up this week. Highly entertaining. So go over there, check it out, guys. Just a $1 a month. You'll also get access to the Discord server as well. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.